and welcome to the Friday Live Lunch and Learn. I'm Tammy Banfield, the founder of Kick Glass Careers and the administrator in this group, the Kick Glass Career Women Facebook group. So welcome to the Friday Live Lunch and Learn. I'm going to go over a quick training topic here. We're going to last maybe 15 minutes. This one I'm going to keep as short as I possibly can. If you are hopping on and you have any questions, please let me know as we go. And if you have any questions about anything that's going on in your job search right now, also throw those in the comments as well, and I'd be happy to answer them. These Friday Live Lunch and Learns in this group are all about you and supporting you in your career goals and your career advancement goals. And I just want to help you however I can. And I'm just going to adjust this just a little because I feel like I am really, I think that's a bit better. Okay. So today's topic is about narrowing your job search. And I've been talking a lot about this on the podcast with Melissa Blackmore, and just this past Wednesday, we recorded the latest episode. That'll be out sometime next week, hopefully. And we recorded it, and what we did for this episode was Melissa and I tested out a free online version of the Myers-Briggs personality test that provides you with some career guidance information based on the results of your personality. So we sort of tested it out. We did our own and we share our own results on there. So it's very interesting. I encourage you to listen to the episode when it's released. I'll definitely be broadcasting where you can find it, where you can listen to it. So it was really interesting because we got to do our own and see how accurate we thought they were. And it turns out it was pretty spot on about identifying our strengths, identifying the work environments that we prefer to be in, identifying our weaknesses or where we could improve. So it was overall fairly accurate. A few misses here and there, but in general, it was pretty close. And it just provides you with a little bit of added confidence, this sort of objective assessment that can provide you with some confidence about the direction you're deciding to go in your career. And so we were doing that, and we were talking about how important it is to really have a direction, have a path for your career, have some idea of where you're going. And I realized I don't think I've talked about that all that much here on the Friday Live Lunch and Learn, and I thought it might be useful if we go through that a little bit more. You know, too often I find job seekers coming to me who are struggling. They're saying, they haven't gotten an interview in months. They're not really sure what's going on. They don't know if it's their resume or their job search strategy. They feel like they're striking out all over the place. And oftentimes a big part of the issue there, a big part of why they're not seeing the traction that they want to see in their job search is that it's too broad. They are trying to apply for all kinds of different things. They're trying to make their resume do the job of, what could be 10 different resumes. Hi, Miranda. Welcome to Friday Live Lunch and Learn. So part of the problem that I see with people not getting the traction that they want to in their job search is that it's too broad. They're not narrowed down. They're not zeroed in on what it is that they really want to secure. They say, well, I just need a job. I just need any job. I don't care. Just help me get an interview for anything. And it doesn't really work that way. If you're trying to use one resume to cover like 20 different positions, 20 different sort of career paths, you're going to have no luck. And what I like to say is you cannot, in your job search, position yourself as a Jill of all trades. You very well are probably multi-talented. You very well have, numerous strengths and numerous value to offer. But in a job search, you really need to narrow it down, focus it down, and be a very specific solution to a very specific problem. If you position yourself that way, you are much more likely to entice an employer to pick up the phone and call you for an interview, because they can make the connection. They can see from your resume that you are the perfect solution to whatever problem that they're having. And that's what you want, right? Your resume, when someone reads your resume, you want them to be intrigued and compelled to call you. That's the resume's job, is to get you an interview. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through a few questions that you can ask yourself so that you can see, it just help guide you a little bit. If you're struggling to really narrow it down, if you're saying to yourself, well, I could do administrative support, or I could do marketing, or I could do sales, or I could do digital media. I just need a chance somewhere. That's great, and I'm sure that's all true, but you need to make sure that you are really narrowing your focus a little bit more. So this is how you can narrow down what you're looking for. So here's some questions that you can ask yourself. So I want you to think about jobs that you've held in the past, or think about your current role now. Even if you're not happy with your job right now, actually that can give you a lot of insight. So think about your current job, think about jobs that you've had in the past, and ask yourself, what do you like best of your job? What do you like doing most? When you get to do something, if you get to do a certain thing, does that make your day better or worse? Is there something that you do at work where you sort of leave at the end of the day and you feel a little extra proud of what you just did? Does it make you feel great leaving that day? What do you do that you have a natural talent for, or that's sort of your zone of genius? What do you do at work that seems effortless to you but might be harder for other people? Another good question, what do people come to you for? What do they come and ask you about? What are you the office resource for? If someone's struggling with something, do they come to you with that? And what is that something that people come to you for over and over again? What small changes in your current job would make your job a lot better? So would it be spending more time on one thing that you do and less on something else? That gives you a pretty good indication of where you may want to be focusing your efforts. What other business groups do you come in contact with? Or what other, if you're in some sort of sales or client management, maybe you have contact with people in different industries. So think about the people that you either work for who are in different departments, or jobs or positions that you have exposure to outside of your own workplace. What do you like about their jobs? When you hear them talk about their work, what sort of excites you about what they do? So that can sort of give you an indication. What do you not like about their jobs? That's a good indication as well. And then also think about the company type, because this can be really important. Sometimes your happiness and job satisfaction can be made or broken based on the company that you work for. So what is it that you really like about your company? Is it more important for you to like the people you're around every day, or the values and mission of the company overall? How does that weigh out for you as far as importance and impact on how happy you are at work? So you want to think about that. You want to think about what you like most about your company, what you think could be better, thinking about the sizes of the company, what do you like least about your company. Knowing what you like most and least, again, can provide you with a little bit more insight and direction. And then, what kind of, the last question I have here, but I think I already touched on it, is just what kind of activities or projects make you feel most proud? And ultimately, that's what you want to do. You want to be able to end most days, if not every day, feeling proud of the work that you did, feeling happy that you get to do what you get to do. You want to have that sense, right, of I did a good job today and I had an impact today. Now, you don't have to be all Mother Teresa altruistic about this. It doesn't mean that, you are saving the world every day you go off to work. But just having, even just having that small sense of satisfaction that you moved the needle, that you made progress. And it's going to be different for everybody. For some people, that's going to be, maybe they're more not-for-profit minded and social justice minded, and that's where they really, shine and thrive. And for other people, they're just happy if, they have organized a workplace. Like Melissa, my podcast co-host, she was talking about, her experience in HR and recruiting, and how really what makes her happy and feel satisfied at work is when she knows she's organizing the workplace and organizing the people in it to make everything run better. That's where she really thrives and what makes her feel really proud about her job. So it's going to be different for everybody, but you need to have at least a little pride, a little satisfaction that way in what you're doing in order to have overall job satisfaction, right? And to be happy with what you're doing. So I want you to take all of that into consideration when you're thinking about your next move, when you're thinking about your next position, and you want to narrow it down. And I'm telling you, if you can narrow down what you're looking for really small, your job search is going to go much quicker. It really is. I know that's counterintuitive. You think that if you apply for more jobs and more different things, that something eventually will hit. But it's not really like that. You don't want to spray your resume all over the place and cross your fingers and hope for the best. You want a really targeted search strategy. You want to go in as narrow as possible. This sort of reminds me of The Patriot, that Mel Gibson's movie, where he's teaching his kids to shoot a gun, and he says, aim small, miss small. And that's sort of what you want to do with your job search strategy. You want to aim for something really, really narrow. You want to aim for your ideal job, and you might not get your exact dream job, but you'll end up with something close, and it will happen a whole lot quicker. Okay? I hope that's helpful for you. And I cannot stress the importance of this enough, of narrowing things down for your job search. In fact, in my Landed Job You Love course, the whole, 9-module job search course that I have, I dedicate 2 modules to narrowing down your position and company, because it is that important. And it can have that much of an impact on your job search strategy. And putting together a whole job search plan of action for yourself becomes a breeze if you know what it is you're looking for. If you're trying to be too broad and go into general, it's going to be a lot more painful to try and put together your strategy and stay on track and stay on your plan and know who to connect with. It gets a whole lot more complicated if your area of interest is much too wide. The narrower it is, the easier it will be on you, and the more quickly you will find something. Okay? All right. If you have any questions about that, or you need any other information, or you want to chat one-on-one, I would be more than happy to chat with you and see if I can help you narrow down your area of interest in your job search. Just throw a message in the comments there. I'm also going to throw some links in the comments too. So I'm going to, I'll put a link to our podcast, because we do a lot of talk around this idea of targeting your position, of narrowing down your job search. So I'll put a link to our podcast in the comments. I will also put a link to that 16 personalities test that Melissa and I took. I'll put that in the comments as well. It's fun, it's enlightening, and it's you get a fairly comprehensive, 10-page report, I think, out of doing this for free. So it's definitely an interesting read, and it can definitely be helpful in providing you with some confidence about where you're headed. So I'll put that in the link as well, in the comments as well, and I will put a link to the Landed Job You Love course in the comments too, just in case you want to check that out. And that is it. You can email me anytime at tammy@kickglasscareers.com. That's Tammy at KICKGLASS careers.com. and I will respond to you if you have any questions. All right, enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have an amazing weekend, and I will see you back here next week for another Friday Live Lunch and Learn. Take care.